Extreme heat is now the leading cause of weather-related deaths in the United States, and it largely affects low-income communities.
UNC Charlotte meteorologist KJ Jacobs shows us how a national heat mapping campaign with ties to Charlotte is working to reduce heat-related illnesses.
The urban heat island effect occurs in cities like Charlotte that are significantly warmer than nearby rural areas by some 20 degrees. Can be due to a concentration of buildings, pavements, and other surfaces that not only absorb heat but retain heat. As temperatures rise and dangerous heat returns to the Carolinas this summer, Assistant Professor of Geography and Community Planning at UNC Charlotte, Catherine Azoric recognizes the increasing effects of climate change.
We have this legacy of disinvestment in communities of color and low-income communities in our city that manifests itself in poorer health conditions, lower quality of life outcomes for those communities. So this will be an opportunity to understand better how heat impacts those disadvantaged communities and to spur action.
Charlotte is one of 14 U.S. cities that will deploy heat mappers that will collect data by attaching sensors to their cars.
These sensors pick up both heat and humidity data, and they do so at about 6 feet off the ground, which is meant to capture data in a way that would simulate how folks would experience moving around the city if you were a pedestrian, if you were a cyclist. So this heat and humidity data will be gathered every couple of seconds as these mobile sensors are driven along a series of routes throughout the cities.
Azoric says the data will be compiled into maps for city planners, policymakers, and emergency management, similar to heat maps from Raleigh-Durham in 2021.
Hoping to identify areas that are hotter than others, and this will help to inform actions like where we might site cooling centers, planting more trees, where we might add additional bus shelters and things like that. There are a number of different mitigation actions that can be taken to help lessen the impacts of urban heat.
Everyone will eventually have access to the data so they could use it to advocate for heat mitigation action and resources for their communities. 80 to 100 volunteers are needed. You can find a link to volunteer in this story on our website.
All right, so we're getting